not that we sit on the couch a lot, but if they're sitting on the couch, they'll just, like my older son especially, and he's probably most athletic, but he'll just have to take a super deep breath as if he can't catch his breath.
Yeah, you got to get him.
I'm not a believer in the asthma thing. That's BS. You know, like it's related to something other than just I'm born with asthma. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
you know
there's no born with asthma. How's the skin? Breakouts or anything like that? Eczema, rashes?
No, on record, he has been the most allergic child that this team of allergists a couple years ago had determined from an ant bite. But they scratched him with some sort of scratch test when he was about 2 or 3, and he was extremely allergic. My wife and I are fine, but he was extremely allergic to fire ants and all this other stuff. But that just sort of faded with age.
Okay,
and he did have a lot of skin rashes as an infant, probably spider bites that we didn't know were misdiagnosed.
No, don't. Rash would be different from a bite. A rash would be more diffuse, and a bite would be more localized. So a rash is distinct from a bite. Here's the thing, Chris, and you sound like a smart guy, so the kids have you. You're a resource for those kids. Here's what you're going to need to do. Look for other symptoms. If there's zero, if you're absolutely and bowel movements and skin are the two most important to look for, or digestive symptoms, I should say, and skin issues. Those are the two most important ones to notice. If your kids are tall and athletic, and you can't find any other symptoms, I wouldn't worry about it. Although I probably would be doing some yoga or deep breathing techniques. However, if you notice skin reactions, that's an important clue. And if you notice any digestive issues, bloating, gas, heartburn, sense of fullness, diarrhea, constipation, loose stools, anything like that, then those are red flags for you. And that's what you really want to focus on. The breath itself, the shortness of breath, that's not enough information. I always tell people it's kind of like the guy Bob. Do you ever hear Bob Ross, the painter?
Yeah, I got a T-shirt with him. I love him. He's the best.
That's great. That's great. How old are you, Chris? You sound like a young guy.
40.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, Bob Ross, for the listeners, is this painter, and he shows you how easy it is to paint. He's on NPR or public television, and he shows you how easy it is to paint. And he'll get this canvas, and he'll put a little line in the middle of the painting, and you'll go, what the heck is that? It's just a line. And then I'll put another line, and then I'll put 3 lines and a dot, and all of a sudden you see a river. And then I'll put another line, you'll see a mountain. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Right? That's what you got to do. You got one dot in the middle of your canvas with the breathing. We got to find some other dots, and we got to find some other lines. And then you can start to get a picture. With one dot, with the breathing, that's not enough of a picture. Look for other symptoms. But it sounds like you're on the right track, Chris.
Honestly, Ben, it's listening to you that has helped me. I mean, I love Dr. McCullough and Dr. Wallach and Dr. Glidden and everybody else, but you are the man. I mean, I wish I could download what you have in your brain, and I should feel as though I should be paying you.
Well, it takes one to know one, Chris. You probably have a lot more information. You probably have a lot more knowledge than you're giving yourself credit for. But in any case, what you want to do is you want to look for other symptoms. That's really what you need to do. Why don't you do this, my friend? See if you can gather up some symptoms, especially digestive and especially skin, and then give me a call back and let me know. You can either shoot me an email and put your phone number in there, and I'll call you back, or call us on the radio. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and love it if you would share with our listeners. And thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Take care, brother.
Ben, come on. This is a world gone mad, and you are the only light in the fog that I could see that anybody makes sense. And, of course, what you say doesn't really make big business money, and it pains me so that my children have to grow up in a world like this. I've actually told them, if anything happens to me in my 40, if I'm die tomorrow, please seek out the advice of Pharmacist Ben. If you got to go walk to Boulder, Colorado, Orlando, find them, please,
I might need a press.
I might need to steer you wrong.
I might need an agent, Chris. I'm going to keep you in mind. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you so much,
take
Ben.
care. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, that was a cool phone call. All right, let's see. Let's go to Julie in Alabama. What is up, Julie? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, I'm 55 and I don't sleep well, and I know a lot of women my age don't sleep well. Could you speak to that?
Yes, I will speak to that. Where are you in your cycle? Are you perimenopausal, postmenopausal, menopausal?
As far as I can tell, I'm postmenopausal.
Postmenopausal. Well, as far as you can tell, are you still having periods?
Oh, no.
Okay, then you're in it. You're menopausal. That's the definition. Pause of mena meaning periods, and pause meaning paused. So, all right, here's the deal. Your body is not going to let you sleep when it's freaked out, because to the body, a freak out represents a lion. And the body loves you. The body loves you. This is how much God loves us. He gave us a body that is our guardian throughout our life on planet Earth. And so when the body thinks that its life is at stake, or your life is at stake, it isn't going to let you fall asleep. So the question is, when you have insomnia, and insomnia is almost like an epidemic, if it's not an epidemic, it may be an epidemic. If you have a problem sleeping, if you have insomnia, that is a sign that the body thinks its survival is at stake. You got to figure out why. The most likely suspect is going to be food. As the wrong food gets into the blood, and as the blood becomes dirty, we talked about this earlier in the show, that's a condition called sepsis. That's a sign of major, major, major stress to the body. The body interprets that dirty blood as a sign of its survival is at stake. So you got to figure out why the body feels like its survival is at stake. Almost always it's going to be dirty blood. And when I say dirty blood, I'm including sugar in that equation. Now, if you have mental or emotional or psychological stress or survival threats, those are all part of the picture. I'm just not going to address those, but just recognize that you got to deal with psychological issues, mental issues, emotional issues if they're there, because those represent survival threats to the body. But from a physical perspective, number one, digestive distress, digestive problems. That's one of the major ways toxins get into the blood to initiate this kind of response. That means do a food diary, eliminate problem foods, look for digestive symptoms, link them to foods, and then strengthen the digestive system with probiotics, good bacteria that is, the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Make sure you're getting your basic nutrients, the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients, that is the Healthy Start Pack. You're also going to need to stabilize blood sugar, because blood sugar toxicity, or blood toxicity, if you will, sugar toxicity from blood toxicity from sugar, that will cause distress. More protein, less refined carbohydrates, fruit juice, desserts, etc. So you can see these are all the same things that everybody has to do. Chromium and vanadium, that is the sweeties, can be helpful for you. You might want to do a couple of sweeties, or maybe a sip on some Beyond Tangy Tangerine before you go to bed. Also, there are nutrients that can help relax you if you can't sleep. And if you're deficient in these nutrients, you're going to have a problem sleeping. And key of the most important of these sleep nutrients, if you will, is magnesium. Magnesium deficiency is very, very common. It may be the most common of all the mineral deficiencies. And magnesium is found in green leafy vegetables, which is one of the reasons why we're deficient in it, because we don't like our green leafy vegetables. Do some Beyond OsteoFX before you go to bed. That'll get you some magnesium. You can also do something called GABA, G-A-B-A, before you go to bed. And also lithium orotate before you go to bed or at bedtime. That can also help relax you. We talked a touch about glycine earlier. Glycine also has a relaxing effect. So does 5-HTP or the amino acid tryptophan, all those taken before bed. A tiny little bit of protein taken before bed can stabilize your blood sugar so you don't go into hypoglycemia in the middle of the night. If your blood sugar drops in the middle of the night, you'll get a spark of emergency hormones and you won't be able to go back to sleep. So a little bit of protein before you go to bed, especially whey protein, can be helpful. There's a couple more things, but we're just out of time, Julie. I hope we helped you out. Slow, deep breathing is always good to calm the body down, too. All right, if we left you on hold, I apologize. Call back on Monday. We'll get you first up. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a spectacular, awesome, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.